if you can find a place that has nobody, a beacon, and a replicator, you're literally going to take a dub. Like, yo, what is poppin', people of the internet? This is live from Vegas. I'm just turning the camera on today to have a discussion about Apex Ranked. This is just off the dome, no script. I'm not even playing a game right now. We're just gonna talk about Ranked real quick. And this isn't gonna be a normal guide that you've seen about how to rank up some bullshit like you need to work on hitting your shots, you need to have a better attitude. Like, those videos are bullshit. This is actually how to rank up. I'm going to give you 2 strategies that your squad can use to get guaranteed RP, and you can just pick and choose which one works for you. So there's 2 main ways to play ranked, right? In my opinion, you can play for the win, which means you don't care about RP, you care about placement, or you can play for RP in early game fights. There's really 2 options. You can't do both. I mean, maybe you can, but only if you're really good. This is for anybody that's trying to get out of platinum, diamond, whatever. It's all easy. It's literally all easy if you do this strategy. You just can apply this to any rank. Let's talk about playing for placement first, because that's something that not many people cover. Playing for placement is what most of the pros you see on Twitch and everything, this is what they do. If you've seen people like Rogue, Dropped, you may see them like sitting in a corner or kind of just hanging out in one building, like really not doing much at all the entire game, not going for kills or damage or anything. That's playing for placement. They're basically banking on the fact that, you know, you have minus 60 in pred. That's huge if you guys have never experienced it. With that minus 60, you kind of have to just sit back and chill. That's how ranked is played in Apex, whether you like it or not. It's not really something that I'm into, to be honest, but we still deal with it, you know what I mean? You gotta play slow, you gotta actually go for a victory. This is one of the 2 play styles. So, like I said, just like any of your favorite streamers, they kind of just sit up. You definitely play storm zones. If you're running this comp, you definitely want to have someone that can scan the ring. I'm talking Crypto, Bloodhound, or Pathy. Honestly, I prefer Pathy for my comp, but a lot of people run Bloodhound. Honestly, Bloodhound isn't for me. I would say that to the highest of ranks. Like, just learn Pathy. Someone on your team having ziplines is way bigger for movement versus a Bloodhound that's just, you know, getting KP for themselves. So that's another pro tip too. If any of you guys, the 3rd option is play Bloodhound, get free KP. Got y'all. Anyways, continuing on the poking strategy, you definitely want to rock longer range weapons. This is where you see people rocking like longbow, charge rifle, repeater in the new season, G7. Popular, like a lot of people just in comps in general run G7 Mastiff. That's pretty much the go-to so that you have huge poke damage as well as something close. So poke weapons, you definitely want to have someone that can scan the ring, and you want to go immediately to the center of the ring every single game. You want to play center zone, and the way that this entire playstyle goes is you want to get center zone, stay there, and just hold it. Like, don't even worry about shooting anybody. You will probably have no KP literally all the way up until the last fight, and that's fine. Just make sure you get all your KP in the final 2 fights. Third party, the final squad, is literally a piece of cake at any rank, like even Diamond. If you have, like I said, Pathfinder, you should be able to get to the zones with the zipline easy, should be able to scan them up. Or if you have Crypto, you can bomb. If you go to that zone and there's somebody already in your amazing spot, which if you're at like diamond rank, there probably already will be someone playing center zone. That's when Crypto comes in. You go, you destroy their caustic traps with the EMP, you wreck them. That's also Octane Revenant is huge right now. If you guys don't know, it's 100% meta for Season 8, the new season, Octane Revenant. It's obvious what you do. You jump in the death totem, you fly over their heads about 1,000,000 meters away, and there's nothing they can do, and you have all the time in the world to heal. They can't get to you, and you have the jump pad to play off. So go ahead and run that strat too, but that's more leaning towards the KP strat, which we'll talk about next. So there's not much more to say about poking. You guys know how to camp. Play it like it's Call of Duty Warzone. Sit in the corner with a sniper and level up your team's shields. If you have a red shield or a purple shield and your teammate has a blue, swap it. If you have a sniper and you're poking, everybody needs to have reds. That is essential. If you're just waiting in the storm zone and everybody has trash, like, you guys are done for. So make sure you're poking for purples, swapping shields with your team, preserving your heals. Like, don't just be sitting on a roof getting lasered as well. You have to hold all your shield cells if you're going to make it to the end, all your ammo. Um, Another, obviously, composition for the camp loadout: Caustic, Watson, Defense, Rampart, um, Gibraltar. You know, these are just huge picks if you want to sit in the building and play for placement. And this is what a lot of people do. Like, this placement is the honest pred strategy. Like, most people play for placement. You just got to chill, just kick back, just wait for someone to come into your sight line, basically, while you're sitting up with your Caustic and your freaking crypto. And unfortunately, that's just how the game goes. But I promise you, that'll give you some good RP. So as for the second strategy, that's going to be the KP strategy. So the KP strategy, you basically want to drop directly on one squad. And I might actually edit this in somewhere in the middle. I want to talk about drops real quick in general. Dropping is hands down the most important thing of your entire ranked game. I don't think a lot of people understand how the first like 10-15 seconds of the game really boils down to your entire game, losing or winning. Your drop is the most important stage of the game in ranked. You need to pay attention to your drop like you're literally sweating for that last dub. Like, the drop is everything. Just promise me that. If you start dropping like how I'm describing, you should be 100% like never, ever, ever going negative if you're dropping correctly. If you're having issues dropping and you're going negative all the time, just throwing, losing 50-50, you're dropping wrong and you need to switch it up. So, some huge tips for dropping in. Again, for the two different methods here, if you're going for placement, you probably don't want to land on anybody. I guess for most people that like are just average at ranked, you know, maybe you're just in platinum and you're just like, you know, my only goal is to just get to diamond. You definitely just want to land where there's nobody and just chill. Pay attention to where everybody's landing. Even just take a second. Usually in ranked, honestly, pro tip right here, in ranked, nobody ever drops right away. In the higher ranks, maybe in gold they drop right away, but like plat, diamond, you know, masters, nobody drops right away and nobody ever drops hot zone. They don't take risky plays. So usually, honestly, my strategy is to just drop right away because usually nobody comes, at the most one team, and you know, if you're decent, you just handle that one team. So yeah, drop right away. Usually there's going to be nobody. That might be my piece of advice. Or if anything, just drop where there's nobody, build up your gear, and then go play for placement. Like I said, you can ideally, you want to drop somewhere where there's nobody, where there's also a beacon so you can scan the ring. And if you're really flexing, you want to drop somewhere where there's also replicating stations. Replicating is huge in ranked. You want to craft batteries, you want to upgrade your shields, you want to get backpacks, you want all of that. So if you can find a place that has nobody, a beacon, and a replicator, you're literally going to take a dub. Like, that's an easy dub right there if you can get that landing spot. Furthermore, if you do want to actually land on somebody, this is what we call 50-50. So basically, you're just dropping in, praying that you get better loot to beat them. So this does work a lot of the time, you know, it's 50-50. That's essentially the name. So you want to land, you want to get good weapons, you want to get good shields. The goal when 50-50ing, let's say you're landing in a place like, I'm trying to think of an easy visualization for most people. Let's just say the cage, right, on Kings Canyon. The cage is just this huge, like, structure. Basically, you want to land right on the top because there's the most loot in that top section. Or you want to land like on the surrounding edges if you picking up what I'm putting down. So, because that area has the most loot. So what I'm breaking down here is you want to have somebody land basically the bottom frame, somebody land on the roof. Because if your whole team lands on the bottom of the cage, like the actual bottom of the cage, we all know there's nothing there, bro. There's 2 bins and maybe 1 gun. So you want to grab the high loot like pool areas right away. May have your team spread out. You want to conquer a zone if you're 50-50ing, and you want to grab all the loot and you want to immediately start shooting. Even if you have like an alternator or something, you got to apply pressure on drop because it'll make them panic and they're like, I have no guns, I have no heals, I need to run. While, meanwhile, all you have is an RE45, but you're just spraying it at them, you know? So that is the goal, guys. If you're 50-50ing, spread out. Get all the major loot, apply a huge amount of pressure so they either back out or they just like, if you know you have good guns, just send them. You know, but if you don't, you want to apply more pressure. I'm telling you guys, these are huge tips. Like, I'm not really getting too descriptive on them, but literally just drop where there's no one, like I said, and go for the replicator. Or, again, drop 50-50. I'm telling you, it's all about, like, think about it like domination. You want to dominate the most zones of where you land. have the most angles and the most loot. If you do that, you should be going positive in any rank. I promise you. It's easy. So that's the KP strat. You can 50-50, right? So let's say you 50-50'd and you usually can get, 2 to 3 KP if you're really putting in work. Let's just say on average you get 2, right? So you got your 2 KP, now there's 6. Honestly, it's kind of up to you what you want to do next. I'd say most people, and maybe if you're just platinum or a lower rank, just take your KP and go into, placement. Just kind of slow down your style. You can play the edge, but most people in ranked, I guarantee you right now, guys, 85% of the people in all your ranked games are playing the edge zone. And if you play that edge zone, they're just waiting for you to come running out. Either that or they're going to third party you from another person coming out. So I would say kind of try to avoid the edges if you can. If you get that KP, just try to, just take your time getting to the zone. You know what I mean? Like, just don't be the last one there ever, ever, ever in rank. Do not be the last one to the zone unless you have like some sort of amazing strategy where you're about to like Gibraltar bomb them and anyways, I'm just rambling, like I said, off the dome. I'm actually surprised I've been talking this long, so let's just keep it rolling. Basically there's 3 stages of KP. There's the early game, which is from like 20 to 15 squads, and then there's the mid game, which is like 15 to 8 squads, and then there's end game, which is like 8 squads plus, right? So in the mid game, honestly, guys, this is just a true blanket statement. I should have put this at the beginning of the video. Do not go for KP in the mid game. If you are playing ranked, any rank, except for maybe like bronze, do not go for mid game KP. Again, mid game is 15 squads to 8 squads. Mid game KP is essentially an L. You're going to get third partied, or you're going to have a bad trade where your team has whites and they have all purples. You just never know. Mid-game KP is not vibes. If you were going for mid-game KP consistently, that is why you're losing ranked. Do not go for mid-game KP because literally, yeah, unless you're just decked to the teeth, like okay, bro, I got 2 gold magazines, my team's got 2 gold armors, okay, we could go for some mid-game KP, maybe. But just blanket statement, guys, please. Stay away from the mid-game KP. Either win your 50-50 or go for the placement. Like I'm describing, there's 2 routes here, guys. 2 routes. Take the 2 routes. Do not take the middle road. If you go for the middle game KP, you're going to lose all your RP. So that being said, get your early game KP. If you have a chance for another early rotation, like let's say you get your early drops, like you end up just landing on a Mastiff and just destroying their whole team in like 2 seconds and you're at water treatment and there's no loot. Okay, well now go run it over to map room. Just take 1 zip line or whatever and another third party. That's still early game KP. That's fine. So do that. But again, if once you see that it's like 15 squads or less, okay, boys, we need to play for ring, we need to play for zone. We just gotta chill. That's just how it is. And like, at this point, just in the mid game, just focus on leveling up your armor. That's just my blanket statement. Focus on getting replicators. Focus on getting your armor. Like, that's literally it. You just want to build up your team. If you're at the end game ranked and you don't have gold items, you don't have good weapons, you don't have red armor, you're going to be done for. So, because the best teams always make it to the end in ranked. It's obvious, right? Like, they dump on everybody. There's only one winner. The best teams make it to the end. Those best teams are going to have red armor in diamond, guarantee you. So, mid game, just focus on leveling up your squad overall. You know what I mean? Don't want to make this video too long, so a few more things. All right, so now that we got like the actual helpful stuff out of the way, let me just throw in my opinion and what I'm doing every day to rank up in diamond. First tip, drop every single gun you have for the Mastiff every time you see it, every single game. If you are in diamond and you do not have a Mastiff, you cannot win the game. I'm sorry. It stings. It stings, I know. But if you do not have a Mastiff in diamond ranked, you will lose the game. I promise you. Unless it is some freak accident. So, my word of advice, this is straight from the heart of Live from Vegas. Guys, pick up the Mastiff. Drop everything. I don't care if you have a gold R301. I don't care if you're like, dude, I need to poke 5 more damage with my charge rifle. I don't care. If you see a Mastiff, drop it. I don't care if you have no bolt. Mastiff, 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 Mastiff. More Mastiff, play pubs, use a Mastiff. Mastiff Legends is the game mode. Ranked Mastiff. Mastiff is your rank. If you do not have Mastiff, why are you watching this video? It's literally that bad. So, next tip. The two legend loadouts that I see the most success with is Gibraltar, Caustic, Pathy, or Horizon, Crypto, and whoever you want. We usually still pick Caustic. Caustic is pretty huge and ranked. Everybody knows that. Again, because we play for placement in Diamond. So honestly, again, that's what a lot of the pros are doing. You'll probably see a lot of them pick Horizon, pick Caustic, play high ground, and just camp. Horizon's huge, but I prefer Pathfinder just for the beacon scan reason, like I've mentioned. Guys, honestly, Wraith is irrelevant. She's been irrelevant for me since the beginning of the game. Please stop picking Wraith. She's not good in ranked, especially with the new storm zones. If you've not experienced the new storm zones, you're in for a surprise. You just have to see it to understand. So the big thing in those big storm zones, honestly, is to play it slow. They move very, very slow. I know it's intimidating that it's just constantly closing, but just take your time, have your Mastiff in your hand, and just chill. If you have your Mastiff out and you're walking in with the zone every single time, you should be Gucci to take dubs. Unless it's like a huge camping throne situation where they got high ground just beaming you. You know what I mean? But if it's a fair fight, like usually in Kings Canyon is honestly open cover where there's like one supply bin in the final ring to hide behind. So honestly, another person I use a lot in ranked is Bangalore. Bangalore is absolutely huge. Again, I mentioned Revenant, Octane. Honestly, guys, in ranked Season 8, this is the best meta we've seen for Legends in ranked so far in Apex, period. Pretty much everyone is viable. So if you have a homie that says, hey, don't run Rampart, you're throwing, or hey, don't run Octane, like why? Play pubs? Like, no. Tell your homie they're wrong. You can play anybody you want. Octane is cracked. Rampart is cracked. Everybody's good in ranked in Season 8, so pick whoever you want, honestly. I was just giving you my recommendations. And again, Bangalore has actually been who I've been playing the most, or Gibraltar. Those are my two main picks. Bangalore is huge in those final zones, and if you have a digital on your Mastiff, you're basically invincible. But yeah, guys, this has been Live from Vegas. I'm running out of things to say. We'll do another ranked video if you guys enjoyed, so please leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think of this. I don't know, just spitballing. I'll see you guys online. Peace.